What are you listening to?
The Get to Know podcast.
You're listening to the Get to Know
Podcast.
Get to Know.
So this is Liam, and you're locked into the Get to Know podcast. Big up yourself if you are listening right now. I appreciate you. Now, my guest today is someone I've known for a while, but I am honored that he has come on. He's a big dog in the game. If you're a baller or you're a rapper and you're looking to get some fresh ice, chances are you're gonna go to this guy. He's worked with the likes of Big Nasty, J Hus, Christian Benteke, Wilfred Zaha, just to name a few. I'm telling you, if I ever go to this guy for some jewels, best believe I've made it. But until then, I will stick to interviewing him. I'm looking forward to you hearing this. So yeah, here we go. Okay, we're locked in. It's the Get to Know podcast, and I am joined by the Ice King himself, Zoli to Sell. How you doing, bro?
I'm alright. I can't complain, you know.
Good, man. Good. It's good to see you again. So for the listeners, I actually went to uni with Zoli. So firstly, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. I know you're a busy man now. And secondly, Rob, it actually warms my heart to see you winning, man. Like, I'm seeing all the snaps, I'm seeing the celebs, I'm seeing the ice. I'm thinking, my guy. So big up yourself, man.
It's been a long time coming, to be fair, but yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, man. Glad to hear it. Well, we'll find out a little bit more about your journey. But before we go into that, we're actually going to do the quick fire round. So I'm just going to ask you a series of questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you two options for each, and then you just give me your preferred option. All right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So starting with English or maths?
Maths.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Okay. Films or TV series?
Ooh. TV series.
Nice. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation. That one's easy.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Nike or Adidas?
I want to go with Nike.
Kanye West or Jay-Z?
Jay-Z.
Spider-Man or Batman?
Spider-Man. Easily.
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Finally, winter or summer?
Summer. 100%. Who would pick winter?
Bro, you'd be surprised, man. Like, to me, it's a no-brainer.
It was
But
a Christmas, but like, do you know what I mean? I don't see anyone else would pick winter, to be honest.
innit? All right, so Zoli, talk to me a little bit about you growing up and how your passion for drawing and designing started.
Yeah. All right. Where do I start? In terms of drawing, I've been drawing ever since I could remember, to be honest. Probably by the age of like 5, 6. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do when I went into school, to be honest. Just probably like everyone. And what was good about my school growing up in Tottenham is that they actually put on a little scheme for like kids. I think maybe it was around year 8, year 9, so how'd you around there, like 13, 14? A little like questionnaire that was designed through games on the internet. I can't remember what site it was called. And what happened is it chose 3 of your best qualities, so what you were good at, what you enjoyed, and from what you're good at, what you enjoyed, and also there was one other tick box which was a criteria, which was what would make you financially stable. So when you have a mixture of those 3, it kind of churns out like a few options for career paths. So I think mine was, I enjoyed art. I was good at like maths and science, and then obviously through some sort of algorithm they come up with architecture. And then lo and behold, obviously that's why I met you in uni. I was doing architecture. Completed that course after 3 years, went into practice for about another 3 years. So I think it's like 6 years in total from college to actually going full time into jewelry was about six years from college. I just realized that that's not what I wanted to do when I was in practice in the office. Just wasn't enjoying myself. And I kind of realized that if you don't look up to the peers above you, you're eventually going to be like them. So so if you see that as a dark road, then I definitely think you should change career paths, because if your seniors aren't what you aspire to be, then it's a little bit of a problem. So luckily I saw that kind of early. And to be fair, it was around the time that my mum was always talking about retiring as well. And to be fair, even though she loved what she done, she didn't like going into work every day, which is like most people. And I just didn't want to. And you got to remember, you spend most of your time in the workplace. So I didn't want to spend my life hating Mondays and just waiting for the weekend. And that's what made me take that leap. So from the age of, how old was I? I think about 24, 23 maybe. That's when I quit my job and went full steam ahead with the jewelry.
When you first kind of, the machine kind of said, architecture, how did you feel about that? Did you think, okay, yeah, that's a bit of me?
Yeah, I did. No, I did. And to be fair, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. All the way up into uni, even in practice a bit, I did enjoy it. But you know what it was? It was more of the attitude of my colleagues. Maybe it was the company. I don't know. Maybe if I tried a few companies, maybe it would have been different. Or maybe if I didn't have this extra opportunity, I would have maybe deep dived in it a little bit more and tried other avenues within the same sector. But it was just the company that I was working for. A lot of people around me, especially the people above me, didn't seem like they enjoyed what they was doing. And you also got to think of, even though it's a bit materialistic, you also got to think of obviously the pay package. So I didn't like what the people above me were on financially, and I also didn't like the attitude towards work. So the two together kind of made my decision for me, if I'm honest. And luckily, I was young enough to make that jump, because some people, I don't know, it might be harder if I was 30. If I had like 2 mortgages, I had like 4 kids or whatever it is, 3 kids, whatever, how many kids you got, whether you got children, or luckily at the time, I was still very young, because you got to remember, it all could have gone to shit, to be honest. If you know what I mean? It all could have gone down the drain, really and truly. But I would have been young enough to bounce back anyway. Luckily, well, thankfully, it hasn't done yet. So.
I guess it's an ideal situation, because if you're young and you've got your degree, you've got that experience of working in the firm. So if it went wrong, you could afford to kind of take that chance, which is good, and it looks like it's paid off.
Yeah. Well, so far, yeah.
So how did
How did the partnership get? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So from the age of maybe like 17, 16. People, like, for instance, we had like mock tests. Remember mock tests in college? So I had a mock test, and I drew like a massive Wiz Khalifa, like memorial sort of thing, in like acrylic. It was like it was a decent size, about the size of like a door frame. It was quite massive. So
oh wow.
And then what happened is, obviously that doesn't go for judging. That was just literally a mock test. So what they did is they just hung the painting up in our cafeteria area, and like a girl that was in the year below me came up to me. She was like, "Yo, my brother's started a company, and it's just him at the moment, but he needs some designs. Could I put you in contact with him, and then you guys can have a chat, and then hopefully you could draw a few pieces for him." So yeah, got in contact with him. Who's our business partner at the moment now, and I drew one design for him. He paid me some money. Then he's like, "Look, I need 10 rings." I was like, "Okay, cool." Drew 10 rings at the time. Then obviously after time, it's like I'm drawing I went from drawing one piece to like the whole catalogue within the space of like 2-3 years. So even up until first year of uni, I was still drawing these designs for him. So we've been working, realistically, look, I'm 20, I just turned 28 last month. We've literally been working for like 11 years together. So once I was getting like, it's like freelance work really, but I was only working for one person, but freelance. So it's like, I was like making my way through uni, do you know what I mean? The days when people don't have money, everyone, not now, but everyone was broke in uni before. So it's like, it helped with the bills, it helped with, do you know what I mean? Going out on Wednesday night, student night, it always helped. So it was always nice to have that extra little bit of income. And it was like stuff that I enjoyed rather than actually having to get a part-time job. So we used to have meetups and it used to be like, you know what, I'm looking for like a business partner, but I know obviously you're still in uni, you're still going through what you need to go through, so I'm not going to put any pressure on you. Fine, he said it once. I wasn't even taking that too seriously. I was like, you know what, I didn't care about it too much. It was just something I was doing on the side. And then went into practice. So after 3 years of doing architecture degree, got my degree, then went into practice the next year. And for the first year, it was new and exciting. For the second year, you start making obviously acquaintances. You start hearing other people's personal journeys. You start obviously getting involved in the office banter. Do you know what I mean? And I just didn't like the industry. It's probably even worse for women, to be honest. It's a very male-dominated career path, and also it's very elitist. Like, it's very middle class. Like, even the course, to be fair, is a very expensive course. So I don't see anyone coming from like underprivileged background being able to even finish the course without needing to do like some extensive part-time work to even get through the modules. So when you get through the other side, you really see the type of people who can make it that far. To be fair, anything's possible, don't ever get me wrong, but there's obviously a pattern here, and obviously it changes the industry in the way it works as well. So there will be no nepotism in my favor in that industry, put it that way. So yeah, after seeing all these things and really getting involved and really getting, you know what I mean, getting really stuck in, my business partner was like, look, okay, we're gonna have a little branch out here to make the company bigger. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to Miami. They have like conventions, like jewelry conventions. They do have for other industries as well. So they have like jewelry conventions. It's a massive convention turnout. You set up a stall and everyone within the industry comes. And that's where I got to see a lot of the people that I see on Instagram. These famous people like fame in the jewelry world, like, I don't know, Johnny Dang and Eliante, Frankie Diamonds. If you're in the jewelry industry, you know them. They do like jewelry for like the Migos and do you know what I mean? And Gucci Mane and all those guys that buy like ridiculous pieces. They all come to that convention. So he is like, you know what, mate, take some annual leave and then we'll work in Miami for this convention, and then obviously you'll just come back. I said, you know what, I've never been to Miami before, even though I was working. Do you know what I mean? It's like an opportunity that I really can't pass up on at the moment. So booked annual leave. I was about 23, I think, at this point. Went to Miami, and it'll be fair to say, actually changed my perspective. I came back and I was like, yeah, I'm quitting my job. We made quite a lot of money over the first 3 days. Things were going well, and that's when I would truly say I really decided to take that leap and say, yeah, let me try my hand in the jewelry industry and creating these pieces of artwork in the form of gold and diamonds. And then it's been like a roller coaster since then. So like these jewelry conventions probably happen about like 3 times a year. So there's like one in Miami, there's one in Vegas. I'm pretty sure if you follow me on Instagram and Snap, you've seen like me at these shows over the last few years. Obviously because of Corona, it's kind of messed it up. But before then, I was going to America, quite a few times out of the year to go to these conventions, and mostly like to make connections with other people in America because we ship worldwide. So going to America, that's where the hub of, and I hate calling it this, but it is what it is. It's hip hop jewelry, isn't it? It's not like fine art. It's more like the big stuff, like, do you know what I mean? Like diamonds and Rolexes and stuff. So it's like it's not dainty, it's not thin. It's more like, do you know what I mean? Big show off pieces.
You're listening to the Get to Know podcast.
I was gonna say, so what was it about that one trip that was just like, yeah, I need to quit my job. This isn't.
Freedom, freedom. Like, you know what? More of the time you're at work, you're in the office. Even even when your office decides to give you maybe like a day out or a client meeting, it's still very restricted. You know what I mean? You're still in the office all day, and it's like, I don't know, normal hours. What are they now? 9 to 5:30, whatever it is. It's like you're very confined to one space, and it's more to do with financial freedom and ownership. So within where I'm at the beginning of this journey, I'm right at the end of, not the end, but I have no say in that other massive corporation. In this small confined company at the beginning, I can make a lot of decisions. You can make a lot of influence, and you can also push it in a direction that we wanted to push it into. There was no one, do you know what I mean, controlling this small circle of ours at the time. Obviously, it's a lot bigger now, but back then, it was literally just me, him, his cousin, and a backpack of jewelry. There was no office. We were like, there was no, do you know what I mean? There was no hat and garden store. There was no employees. It was literally just us lot and a backpack full of designs that I've drawn up. That's it. So it was a big leap. It was exciting. And if I'm totally honest, I don't think I'd have the energy to start it now. But at least we're here now. At least we're here now and it's planning that. That's all I'm saying.
Of course. So talk to
Mm.
me about, so you've come back, you've had this you've had this great journey, this great trip.
Yeah,
So talk to me about
yeah.
how that has turned into you having this hat and garden store.
Okay, so as I said, after I come back, I handed in my notice. So, um, and we still didn't have an office. We have a factory which batch produces all of my designs. So we started off just doing wholesale. So the basic business plan or the basic structure of the company is I design an array of pendants, rings, chains, all sorts, bangles. We would get them made, and what we would do is we would literally get a backpack of jewelry and go to any of the local jewelry stores. Remember, we're working from my business partner's like auntie's house. We haven't even got an office, so it's like we get we'll get a backpack of jewelry. We'll literally walk into the store. We look like customers, to be fair. And at first, it's hard to break that mold because we look like the normal clientele who buy the jewelry. The jewelry owners weren't taking us seriously as wholesalers. So even the first couple of years, we used to try and make ourselves look like extra smart. We used to wear like, I don't know, like suits all the time, even during the summer, like coming boiling blazers with backpacks. But obviously, after a while, the jewelry stores get to know your face and they realize and they know the brand, so you don't need to do all the extra stuff. But first impressions, I would say, definitely a big factor. But anyway, so coming into the jewelry stores with backpacks, being like, hey, this is Ice Jewels. We have this on offer, show a catalog. Do you want to see the pieces? Literally just took the backpack off and show him some of the pieces that we had in store, and they would literally just pick them up. They just picked them up, and then eventually we built up a system of maybe like 10, 15 stores who would buy like weekly, um, realizing that the workload was too much for two people. My business partner obviously will hire family members, like we would get people on. Even his girlfriend at the time was working. She was doing the orders online, she was shipping them out. We were still going around to wholesalers, I mean, and jewelry stores, local jewelry stores. We have like South London, North London, West London. With all those, I don't know if whoever buys jewelry can know all those like Turkish jewelry shops. If you're from North London, you know Green Lanes, you know Wood Green, even in Peckham, South London. So we definitely did the rounds. Um, and eventually we gathered up obviously enough monthly income to have like an office space. Um, Doing the same thing on a bigger level from the office space, we managed to save enough money to get a deposit for a store in Hatton Garden, and that's when the level like went up again. So we had to hire staff, do up the shop, and now we're a retail store and wholesale. Whereas before it was more just website and wholesale. So now we're definitely taking it to a different level, and we're actually getting a new store in Hatton Garden as well. So it'll be the second store now, and it will be open in February.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was. I was going to ask you about that because I remember seeing on your snap like the kind of renovations going on. So I was a bit curious. So
Yeah.
that's a new store, is it?
Yeah. It's a big leap upstairs and downstairs. Gonna have a lounge, an office area, and the showroom is definitely the biggest in Europe. I wouldn't say America, but definitely the biggest store in Europe to date, 100%. For this type of jewelry, so for hip hop jewelry.
Wow, that's sick, man. Like honestly, you're killing it.
As I said, my business partner, who was before, remember, he actually started the company before I was involved, and it was just him. So it only started to like kick up a notch when we weren't just buying jewelry and selling it. We were literally making our own designs. And because we were quite young at the time, we're still young now, but you're always on trend. So like obviously in hip hop, like the jewelry, this jewelry industry kind of directly follows like rap and hip hop almost like simultaneously. So anything that comes up, like I don't know, like new catchphrases, new words, all of that stuff, it's like instantly the next week or so you'll find it on a jewelry piece. So like when people say the greatest of all time gold, as soon as people started saying that, made a jewelry piece. Do you know what I mean? So those things like that are if you're current and to be fair we've hired a few younger people who how old we were when we started, so that will always be to date because obviously right now I'm not always onto the latest music and stuff, but we've got people that are like 21 working for us that are always going to be on the ball. They always need the latest trend. So I always, even when I'm designing, I always get them involved. I'll be like, yo, so what do you think's nice? What do you think's cool? And do you know what I mean? Because things always develop. So, and I got to realize I'm not 21 anymore. So I'm not always gonna have the best opinion on that for our customers. So I definitely have to keep up to date.
And how important do you think it is that you are based in Hatton Garden, which is essentially, the jewelry capital of
Yeah.
London?
Um, it's an amazing asset to be honest. The rent is really high, but but it is important. I wouldn't say it's crucial or essential to our growth, but it's definitely important because you can make connections within obviously the industry, and you can definitely network. So even though there's a lot of competition, it's kind of healthy because you need someone to give you like a kick up the arse every now and again. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Sometimes you like to put it in, you know what I mean, in coast mode, and you don't realize that. Do you know what I mean? It is at the end of the day, you are in competition with your neighbor, but it's friendly competition. It's always nice. Do you know what I mean? So it's always nice to have something that helps you grow. And also, it's also nice to have like the support as well. So it's like good and bad, but more good than bad. Let's say.
And when you say, the support, what do you mean by that?
For instance, you'll find that in the jewelry industry, it's very tight knit. So if you're not, which we had the same problem, if you're not a part of it from the beginning, or know someone who knows someone, it's very hard to get access to certain that maybe watches or certain favors you might need. So, for instance, not all a lot of jewelry stores don't do their own work. A lot of jewelry stores just buy and sell. Um, so, for instance, if we have like a diamond setter in our office, if he decides to quit one day or decides to work somewhere else or whatever problem in this climate it might happen, it's always nice to know in Hatton Garden you have workshops everywhere. You have workshops everywhere. You have diamond dealers everywhere. You can buy all your stuff. You can buy gold, diamonds, get work done in Hatton Garden, and these are your neighbors. So it's not, for instance,
You're
if the
listening
store was in maybe
to
West
the
London or
podcast.
I don't know, North London, anywhere else that is not Hatton Garden, you would have to make that trip every day or every week, or but you would have like whoever owns a jewelry store that's not in Hatton Garden still has to come to Hatton Garden. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's easier just to be there anyway. So and have like anyone at your beck and call, not at your beck and call, whoever obviously you're in cahoots with, yeah, or whoever supports you, you can get that support easily. So and they're your neighbors. So as I said, it's very accessible and practical if you own a jewelry store.
And why do you think it is so like tight knit and difficult to get your foot in the door?
It's hard to trust people with a lot of stuff lying around. So for instance, it's not like It's not like a retail store where if someone nicks one item, what's that, £50, £100? If you nick one item in our store, you could potentially be leaving with a good payday. So, and they're small items, so you could have a handful of stuff and leave with like $500,000. A handful. So, do you know what I mean? How much clothes would you have to steal before you get to $500,000? Do you know what I mean? So you need people around you that can trust, with like high volumes of cash and expensive items that are really small. So that's why nobody allows anyone that's not family or known each other for a considerable amount of years to work in their jewelry store, or even get too close or get to the back or the office of any jewelry store. It's just high risk. That's all it is. It's really high risk. And you wouldn't like to lose any amount of money, especially a lot of money, just based on someone stealing one diamond. It's a bit risky.
Of course. So you did just kind of touch on it. So what are the challenges, the main challenges that you've had to overcome?
I would say
and how did you overcome them?
That's a big one. But we just touched on the trust issue. You can't really hire anyone. So for instance, you couldn't put an ad on LinkedIn. You wouldn't be able to do that. You can't just put an ad in your, I don't know, local newspaper or local ad online. You can't. It's not possible, because it would need to be like an extended family member or someone you've known, as I said, for a considerable amount of years. So we have had a problem with that. Also, just because, to be fair, as I said, we've been doing it growing consistently for like 10 years. Brian has been doing it ever since he was 16, and he's like, my business partner's like, how old is he now? Like 30. So he's been doing it for like 14 years. And I've been designing jewelry for like 11 years. So it seems like quick growth, because it's all just happened in the last maybe 4 years. It's been a quick, rapid acceleration, but it's been a long time. Do you know what I mean? So what I would say is that because we're always trying to grow, apart from seeing the business flourish, you're not really seeing the benefits as yet. But soon enough, we're at a certain level where we feel like we can spend money on ourselves and rather than the growth, then you're really gonna see lifestyle. Really investing. I've really truly just been putting back in. For instance, we only got that store 2-3 years ago, the one in Hatton Garden, and now we're making another one. So a lot of money has been spent on that as well. So that's what I would say. It's hard to. You need to put your eggs in the right basket, and it's hard to reap the benefits if you don't grow rapidly. And also the trust issue, because you've got a lot of expensive items that are really small and could be stolen at any moment, and you're dealing with high volumes of cash. So it's really a mixing pot of just trust, growth, and money organization that I would say are our biggest problems.
And what's the best part of the job?
I would say, like, okay, as you've seen on Snap, I don't think anyone that knows me on Snap, it's like occasionally when I meet like high-end clients and stuff, we get to go out, party with them, and it's like more like, even though it's a social aspect, it's also work and building connections. So I'd say that's probably a major part of the job, and also something that is really enjoyable. But also, what I would say, away from the party in front, is also I like to see people happy with like a piece of art that I've made. So it's always nice to see, and all the company gets it, even if from the person who organized the deal to me who designing it to the person who delivers the piece, you can all feel a sense of accomplishment once the jewelry piece is made, and also once the client picks up the piece. So I'd say that's a very big part of it, to feel fulfilled within the work that you've been doing. But again, also I'd say is the social aspect is really nice as well. I've seen a lot of places. I've been to like Vegas, New York, Miami, all these high-end places that I probably wouldn't have had the time to go to before, and also as work. So it's nice to have play and work in the same mixing. Yeah,
I bet. So what's been like one of your favorite kind of social experiences that you've had as kind of part of the job?
Like, going to Vegas is probably one of the best ones. But also just meeting like footballers. Like, I mean, to be fair, I'm not the biggest football fan, but I've met a lot of footballers that are probably wouldn't have even bumped into before. So, for instance, I met like Raheem Sterling, I met like Marcus Rashford, like Wan-Bissaka, a lot of the Manchester team. I met Iwobi when he was playing at Everton and when he was at Arsenal. So I've met a few people that I've seen play a lot of good games on TV. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're a football fan, it's definitely a nice industry to be in. I know you support Man U.
Liverpool.
Liverpool. So who have I met anyone from Liverpool? I don't think so. I don't think I've done any pieces with anyone at Liverpool. You're not yet, anyway.
You you worked on the Pepsi campaign, and Mo Salah was in that.
Yeah. You're right. We didn't actually do a piece for him, but yeah, I did work on the Pepsi campaign. That was a bit of fun. That was like 3-4 days of shooting, I think. And funny enough, it was in Liverpool. The shoot was actually in Liverpool. It was nice. I got to mingle a lot of the footballers and like see how the advert process is made, which was really interesting, to be honest. Like, I didn't realize they had all had stunt doubles. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, like most of the videos not even them. Like when you see their face, it's them, and that's the only time it's them. So if he's running away from the camera and you just see the back of his head or the side, or it's just his footwork, it's never him. It's just the stunt double. And then when you see the face, that's when it's them. They only shoot for a little bit and leave. Then the stunt double does the rest of the work. It's actually quite crazy. But yeah, no, that was a very good experience. And I was honored to be a part of the advert. But the only thing that kind of messed up was that because it was delayed massively because of Corona. Like massively. We shot that ages ago.
So talk to me about your role in that.
It was actually, this is where social media plays a big part, because obviously there's a lot of people working on that shoot. So there's like let's say a wardrobe, a fashion department within obviously the whole, crew, I would say, the whole film crew. Someone who does a lot of big shoots. So for instance, he does like Stormzy, Ed Sheeran. She was obviously employed that team was obviously employed for this advert. They've seen us on social media and they've reached out to us like, hey, I like your jewelry. Long and short of it is that they've announced that they're doing a Pepsi shoot. Can we have a Zoom meeting? And things just actually kind of snowballed since that Zoom meeting. They just asked us, look, can you bring down some pieces? This is the kind of stuff we're looking for. We've looked at your website, and really it was just like we was a part of the wardrobe team, and it's just like obviously just fitting the footballers with whatever style fit their outfit at the time. So it was a good experience, and I didn't realize how the attention to detail really plays a big part in those adverts. Because what happens is if his stunt double was wearing a different set of jewelry to him in one of the shoots, it like messes up everything. So it was a nice experience just to see how they shoot those adverts. Yeah.
This is Iman Lake, and you're listening to the Get to Know podcast.
So what is the creative process like for you?
I enjoy it as long as the time restrictions aren't too stringent. I like to take time. I like to make revisions. And to be fair, it is quite enjoyable for me because I'm in the initial schematic design stage. So I would just literally draw something on a piece of paper, probably make a few revisions, and once I make the CAD design from my initial schematic drawing, we send it to get waxed. So it's and you know what it is? It's like, I feel like a lot of the old school jewelers don't like the way we do it, because obviously as technology obviously develops, the process changes. So let's say 10 years ago, they had to carve all the wax molds by hand. What we're doing is I'm making a drawing, I'll make like a 3D image on a computer, and you can print that in wax. So a lot of jewelers starting to use it like now over the last 3-4 years, but they weren't doing that before. And a lot of old jewelers kind of frown upon it because they're like, it takes away from that handmade craft. So once it's printed from the wax mold, you have to set the stones. Like you have to drill the metal and set the stones in it. So to be fair, I'm more to do with the design aspect. So I really enjoy that. And I get to say, it's really fulfilling to see it come out exactly how it comes out on a piece of paper, from start to finish, getting to view the whole process. So yeah, it isn't really an extensive process, but it does take a lot of time. So you got to remember, so some of the pieces are quite big. So if you got a piece that's about the same size as an iPhone, it probably holds around, let's say, 700 diamond. So imagine you have to drill 700 holes and individually and put each stone in one by one. It's a very tedious task, and it does take quite a long time. So I'm glad I'm not doing that part.
So, what's your favorite piece that you've designed?
There's one that's coming out soon that you're gonna see. I'll definitely say that it's coming out soon, and this is gonna be my favorite piece.
Okay. So, talk to me about how the BBC feature came about.
Oh yeah, do you know, it actually reminded me of a lot of stuff. I need to actually list all these things. That came about through social media as well. So I would say the bigger, do you know what it is? A business that was made 50 years ago, 60 years ago hasn't got the pleasure of advertising and stuff via social media. And it's actually a shame, because if you do it right, you do get a lot of opportunities that you wouldn't necessarily get if you didn't have that sort of grasp and that influence. So definitely, social media has provided us with a lot of opportunities, and it's exactly the same thing, Liam. They literally just like said, "Hey, like your stuff. We need this." I was actually a director that does a lot of the after match of the day little segments. He was like, I'm looking for a segment. He normally does customization. So it wasn't, to be fair, this wasn't necessarily about jewelry. It was more about customization. So what happened is he interviewed a few people. So he has a few episodes. There's a guy that sources clothes for footballers. Like,
yeah, I saw that.
Exclusive clothes for footballers. Like, he has episodes. There's a guy that cuts their hair like a barber. So he has like the barber to the footballers. And then this was like jewelry to the footballers. So there was different episodes. I was just one in a series of episodes. But it was amazing, because it was like, even when I saw my brother videoed it and he showed me, because obviously he's an avid football fan and he actually watched Match of the Day, and he saw me come on after. He's like, what the hell, like? Because I didn't tell him about it before it was on TV. So he saw me on TV, which was good. And again, bringing back to social media, that's exactly where they contacted us. They literally pinged man over an email after they saw me on social media and said, "Hey, would you like to be involved?" And one thing led to another.
So in that video, am I right in saying that your associate, he gave Zaha a pendant when he saw him, and just like, take it?
Oh yeah, you watched that? Yeah. Do you know what's funny? That little segment is for something else that's on Link Up TV.
Oh yeah.
So if you watch the BBC video properly, on the corner actually says sourced from like
I saw.
That segment was a part of a different video where Link Up TV have another series about jewelry, and we were on one of those episodes. And yeah, you're right. In one of those episodes, Zaha came, and you know it all links back to what I said about the job, about doing the whole social thing. It doesn't necessarily lead to a sale directly, but because of that night, he went and got something a lot bigger. And to be fair, that's one of my top 5 pieces as well, come to think about it. But yeah, Wilfred Zaha, my colleagues my business partner saw him in a club in Miami. And they're having a great time, this, that, and the other, and he liked the pendant he was wearing on his neck. And he said, "There you go, have it, I'll see you another time. I'll see you like tomorrow or whenever." Yeah, and because he knew he was there for a few days, it was kind of sneaky, to be honest, because it was kind of like, this is like, I'm making sure I'm going to see you again. I'm trying to explain it to you, but it's like, here you go, I'll see you around. Like, do you know what I mean? He's not going to run away. It's like, do you know what it is? And you can't do that with everybody, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't do that with everybody, but he made the decision, and he's probably quite drunk at the time, to be honest. But anyway, he's done that. He's given him the piece of jewelry, and lo and behold, Like the next day they met again. They kind of like had like a joint holiday after that. And then yeah. So when they both reached back to the UK, it was like, yeah, well, I want to get something made for myself. And then yeah, that's just set in stone after that.
And I also saw in that video that you went to Wan-Bissaka's house, met his dog, played FIFA. So who won?
Biden actually won. My colleague actually did he win? I can't remember. It was years ago now. I think Aaron actually lost.
Yeah,
Aaron lost. But they played a few games. It wasn't like just one game. They played a few. I think Aaron lost. Aaron definitely lost. But do you know what it is? I think Aaron's got a new house now, so I think if they go again and play again, Aaron's definitely not going to let him win. Because my colleague actually played with Manchester United.
Yeah. So obviously you're clearly making a name for yourself. The business is doing great. So I want to know is what does success mean to you? What does it look like to you?
Freedom, like financial freedom. I want to be able to like take. If I would say, and it's funny because my colleague said this to me the other day, he said, if you have to work every day in your business, then it's not really a business. You're just the head worker within. Do you know what I mean? Within an organization. So I think for me, success would be like financial freedom. If I want to take like a break for like 3 months and still have some passive income and not have to work, that's freedom to me. If I can take a holiday whenever I want to take a holiday, obviously you have to keep yourself busy. But I would like a few businesses that can make money while I don't have to be there every single day. That would probably be, in a nutshell, my term of success. Whether it's just, I don't know, whether I'm earning just like an average paycheck but not having to go in, that's success for me. So it wouldn't be like millions or millions. It would be more so that if I want to take a break, when I want to take a break, I can do it. So in a nutshell, financial freedom is my definition of success.
Yeah, hear that.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give to, say, aspiring business owners? Maybe someone that's got an idea but it's not been executed yet.
Try. Just try. You're probably going to fail the first few times, which is fine. And I would say winners are just people that have failed a lot more times than you have. So I'd say just try, just keep on going. And as you never know where something's going to go unless you really, really stick at it and you really put your effort in. So you can have as many business plans as you want. Like if you don't execute any of them, not really much point in having them, is there? I would say plan obviously, but try to execute a lot more than you plan, because a lot of people do have their head screwed on and they do plan for a very long time. It's just that leap of faith that they're missing. So I say be a risk taker. That's how I'd say it.
Nice one, thank you. What's next on the horizon for you? I know you've touched on it already, but yeah.
Expansion. So once we open this new store, there's going to be a lot more space, and I'll probably be getting closer and closer to that the stage where I don't have to be in as much. In fact, I even see it over the last few months, even the last year. I can still see it where I don't have to be in as much as I was before. The business kind of works without me. Do you know what I mean? Micromanaging everything. So that would probably be the next step, is expansion and making sure that the wheel keeps churning without me needing to be on a bloody treadmill. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. All right, thank you.
Podcast.
All right, now next segment, just before we go, is the trivia section. So I'm going to ask you a few questions on jewellery, and we'll see how you get on. So it's 5 questions.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right, so first question: what do you call the study of precious and semi-precious stones? Is it A, gemology, B, stoneology, or C, rockology?
That's so easy. Gemology.
All right, that is correct.
Yeah.
All right, second question. In what year was the Hatton Garden heist? A, 2014, B, 2015, or C, 2016?
Ooh, those years are really good. I actually don't know this one. I know exactly what heist you're talking about though, because people
Yeah.
talk to this day. Oh my god, 2014, I'd say.
It's wrong. It's actually 2015. All right. Next question. A carrot.
To be
Sorry,
fair,
go on.
we weren't even in Hat Garden at that point.
Yeah, true. But I don't know. You still might know it. Like you've heard of the heist though. So
Yeah, no, definitely. I know that has very well. I just don't know what year it was done. I was close.
all right. Next question. A carat is a unit of weight approximately equal to how many milligrams? A 50, B 100, or C 200?
So that question again, a carat weight in diamond is equal to what?
A carat is a unit of weight approximately equal to how many milligrams? So how many milligrams in a carat?
Oh, okay. How many milligrams in a carat? Oh my days.
Approximately.
Approximately 100 milligrams in a carat.
Ooh, unlucky. It's actually 200.
Seriously?
Yeah, man.
That's embarrassing.
Their questions do get a bit harder, to be fair. All right, what is
Yeah.
the largest diamond ever found? Is it A, the Great Mogul, B, the Cullinan, or C, the Orloff?
I want to say the Cullinan.
And that is correct.
Yeah, because that was a pretty massive diamond. That was a pretty massive diamond. And they even named the car after it. So
Yeah, in its uncut state, it was actually 3,106 metric carats.
you know, you done your research. You're ready for this podcast.
All right, last question. What
Yeah.
is the record for most diamonds in a ring? Is it A, 5,555, B, 6,666, or C, 7,777?
What country is this in?
Uh,
For the world?
yeah, this is world record.
Oh god. And could you tell me what type of jewelry it is? Is it fine jewelry or it would have to be fine jewelry? Because don't think it's going to be hip hop jewelry.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh gosh. And what's the second answer?
6,666.
I'm gonna go with B.
B. It is actually C.
Yeah.
7,777.
That's a lot of diamonds to fit in one ring.
Tell me about it, man. It is on an 18 karat gold base, which is being valued at $4.9 million
Oof.
in it.
Yeah, I don't think we've made anything that expensive this year.
Not yet.
No. Expensive piece you've probably made is six figures. We haven't made anything for $1 million just yet.
I'm sure it's pending.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Last thing I want to ask you is, so recently, it's the end of year wrap up. So, Spotify has its wrapped feature and Apple Music has replay. Do you know who your top artist was for
Oh
the
no,
last 12 months?
actually didn't even see them. And you know, what it is, I saw a lot of other people's ones, but I didn't even do my own. But I can tell you, it probably would be.
Who do you reckon it
And
is?
how many is it? Is it five? Yeah, or how? What is it? 5, 10?
It's usually 5, but you can give as many as you want.
All right. I definitely been listening to a lot of Drake. I've definitely been listening to a lot of Lil Durk. So that's Drake, Lil Durk. Who else have I been listening to? Ooh, recently King Von because he passed away.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah. Who else have I been listening to really? And there's like a South African genre called Amapiano. It's like sort of house. It's like house music. I've been listening to a lot of that. I'm trying to think. I can even look at my phone now. Actually, I don't know what I'm trying to do off the top of my head. There's a new artist called Vori.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been listening to some Rimsey from Clapton, London. And I've been listening to Wizkid,
Ah, yeah, okay.
and a lot of Young Blue. He's got a song featuring Drake.
Who's that? Sorry,
Young Blue. He's got a song
Young
featuring
Blue.
Drake. Yeah, I would even play it for you right now, but I don't know. I
I'll check that out, man.
Oh, and D Block Europe. I've been listening to a lot of them as well.
Yeah, I rated their last mixtapes though.
Yeah. My music moves so fast nowadays. I don't even like it. I don't even get time for it to settle in before somebody has something else new. And you know what it is? Unless you have a lot of time, you don't really get to listen to and take in a lot of this music, because by the time you've downloaded one mixtape album, the next day something else is out, and the next day something else is out, and it takes a while to process like 20 songs. You can't just listen to it for a week and be like, yeah, this is the best album ever. You need to sit with it,
No, I hear that.
and you don't really get that time to sit with music anymore.
Yeah, I hear that. Like for me, when it's a banging album, that's when I keep listening to it. But like a lot of the time, I kind of, even if I like it, I'll listen to it for a little bit, and then I won't listen to it again for time.
Yeah.
I guess that's a streaming era, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, Zoli, it's been a pleasure. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Mm.
And honestly, wish you all the best in the new store. And yeah, man, we keep in touch.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it, man. I always like doing this podcast. This ain't the first one I've done. I've done a few. And it's always a pleasure, you know what I mean, sharing a story and then seeing the journey. So I appreciate you having me on here, Liam.
All right, respect, man.
All right, okay. Take care.
You're listening to the Get to Know podcast.
So there we have it. Zoli to sell, head of design and co-owner of JEWLZ. Big up Zoli, man. He's doing really well. He's living the dream, man. He's getting paid well to do what he loves. He's traveling the world. He's meeting a lot of great people. He's encountering these great opportunities, and I'm here for it, honestly. If you want to see some of his work, you can follow him on Instagram. That's zoli.icejewels, and you can also follow JEWLZ on Instagram. I will post the links in the notes, but that is just JEWLZ. You need to check out the piece that he's just done for Marcus Rashford. Jeez, I saw the piece and I was like, "Was that the piece, Zoli?" And he's like, "Yeah." All right, so moving on to my TV show recommendation for this week. Now, this is a show that I watched very recently. I just finished it. I think it's yesterday I finished it. But honestly, it's so funny. The show is called Barry. Now, Barry is a hitman, and he goes to LA to complete a job. And there he discovers that he would like to pursue a career in acting. So it shows him trying to get out of the hitman business and into acting. It's a dark comedy. It is so funny. Like it's just right up my street, man. You can find this on Sky Comedy. It's half-an-hour episodes, 10 episodes per series, and there are 2 series so far. But yeah, I think you will all enjoy this. It's a great show. Shout outs again for tuning in. Big up all the people that have been listening so far. Big up everyone that's sharing it. All the people telling me that they're enjoying the show. Much appreciated. Yeah, man, so much love for that. I'll be back next week with more content for you. So make sure you are back. Tell your friends. Tell your parents, tell your dog. Yeah, man. Some good content coming for you. Shout out Jurgen Klopp. Although I need you, man, to fix up because I don't like seeing Man United at the top of the league. Shout out Larry David. Big up TJ Detweiler. And yeah, shout outs to all of you. Safe.